First Watch with Sheriff Mark Daniels on KWCD Bisbee Sierra Vista, hosted by Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
And welcome to your Friday. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning, Cochise County.
Hello, everyone.
So let's start with Cochise County football. That's what we do.
Should be a good night for Buena. Buena's hosting Vista Grande High School. Vista Grande, struggling. They've been struggling. Not a real established program up there in the Casa Grande area, but they're playing them tonight at home here. Buena, lost a couple of really tough games to a couple of really tough teams. So they'll really get back on track here tonight. They're sitting at 3-3. Vista Grande's 2-4, but again, the record doesn't really serve the program. So I would estimate a running clock by the third quarter. Buena will run this one home tonight and get back in the winning bracket and on track again. So should be a good game, though, all the way around. Should be a good game, and we're looking forward to it.
And let's give a shout-out to U of A, because you know that they're going to win BYU.
Like I asked you, I said, who's – Carol and I were talking here before I came on the air, and I asked her what high schools they were playing this weekend. She said that BYU. But listen, if they can knock out BYU, number 18 in the country, and I think that's really their first-ranked team they're playing. I mean, so they're stepping up from the junior league going into the top 25. So this will be a I will apologize next Friday if they can knock it off, but –
Get ready for that.
She's going to hold you to that, I'm sure.
I am.
But she can hold. She can do all this.
They took Iowa 41-13. Didn't you say Iowa was going to win?
Iowa State. Let's go back. Iowa's struggling this year. They're working on the wrestling program. But Iowa State lost last week, too, though. They did. They went down. And it's amazing how can you be top ranked and then you get beat like that. That's the great thing about college. That's what I like about it. It's not like the professionals. But but ASU taking on another top-ranked 25. I don't know how the schedules came out, but they're playing who is ASU playing? Oh, Utah. Utah's tough. Always has been tough. So both our Arizona teams are going to be challenged this week. But
They are. Yeah. We've got 2 more games to get into a bowl, so we'll see.
They're in a bowl, right? And but I wish them both well. I do, because I'm waiting for those two to play this year. That's going to be a game because both teams are playing well.
Right.
So it'll be interesting between the Wildcats and the Sun Devils, and it's always great, especially if you look at the billboards between Phoenix and Tucson when they play. There's billboards out there. What was that one a couple of years ago about they're going to spank the kiddies, or there's something really, it was really good. You got to give ASU students some credit, some wit. They got beat bad that year, though. And but either way, it's fun. It's going to be fun.
Well, let's start with the government shutdown. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, let me just say, Congress, we can do a better job. Everything going on. You got people out there, that are trying to pay their bills, do all this. I just heard an advertisement from one of the banks this morning about, hey, we can give you a $6,000 loan. You probably have heard it on the media. I think it's advertised on this show here. But long story short is they can do a better job. I mean, is politics keeping the government shut down, or is principle? Let's just be real on both sides. It's amazing to me, and what nobody's saying, and I'm going to say it, and I don't watch a lot of the news because I live it every day, but is the fact Congress still gets their check. Congressional senators and House, they still get their checks. Not a problem, is it? Not a problem. Why the people that depend on you are not. And that goes for our safety essential people. And I sat in some meetings last week and this week, and they were talking about our federal employees, and it just doesn't seem right, that's the best we can do. And I said this before. When's the last time you saw a local or state government, not balance their budget, because there's mandates to do that, but number 2, shut down because they don't have a budget? I don't recall one. Not saying it's not happened, but then you see our federal government, the one we depend on when it comes to providing what I call resources for state and locals, they can't get their act together. So shame on y'all.
Another controversial issue, jail district. So
yeah, and I don't look at it as a controversy as much as I look at it as a principle. It's a principle that we need a jail. And is it a redo? Either way, the ballots are out, and we need your support on that. And if it doesn't happen, we'll find Plan B, because there's really no Plan B except it's going to cost a lot of money. That's really what it boils down to, compared to really pennies on the dollar. And I get every penny counts just based on what I just said a few minutes ago. But this community's always been very supportive of law enforcement, and people have asked me. I said I feel very confident. This has been a community that supports the badge, state, local, and federal. So we'll continue forward and let the people decide. And on November 4th, we'll go from there. I know there was another legal challenge to it, and that's going to be heard today, if I heard that right, by a Yavapai County judge. So we'll see where that goes. But at the end of the day, I got a job to do, and that is to keep people safe here and hold those that are no longer that made bad decisions, and we're going to keep doing what we have to do in the best way we can do it. And if our jail gets in trouble, then and we can't use it no more, then we'll transport them to another jail. But it's going to cost. There's a cost to that. There's a cost to doing business every time you do that. So at the end of the day, we're going to push forward.
And early ballots went out this week, and then also you should have got a publicity pamphlet in the mail as well.
Right. The pros and cons, and I've had people talk to me about that. And again, people make up a decision. They got to make up their mind, and people will. This is a very educated community. They very much. We got a strong military presence here, veteran presence here, a lot of law enforcement, a lot of good people. Seriously, I tell people, listen, we've been out there for how long, Carol, and talking about this. People know what it is. They're going to make a decision based on what they think is best, and we go from there. So, again, we need a new jail. I'll just say that.
And even though the government is shut down, the military is still working, and there's a chain of command ceremony today.
There is. The Joint Task Force Southern Border Transfer of Authority ceremony today, and that's where the 10th Mountain Division, we've all heard about the 10th Mountain, who were these people that came from the East Coast, and that started this, kicked it off, and they're outgoing. Now we have the 101st Airborne Division Air Assault coming in today. God, sounds so, like a movie. Coming in today, and so that's at 9 o'clock. Chief Chris Heiser from Sierra Vista PD and I will be heading up there to support the change of command, and great partners. And if you haven't noticed, they're here for a reason. The military came here. They liked what we're doing at the border. They like what this community does when it comes to supporting military. And when they were doing those site visits, Fort Huachuca and this community sold it. So, again, I want to support that. I want to support the economic benefit of having all our soldiers eat now, shopping here locally and within Cochise County. And I think it's a great thing to have them here. I'm being a vet myself. I'm a huge supporter of that. So I don't like to miss a lot of those events.
And also supporting veterans. You were at a Silver Rose event.
I was, and that's the first time I've been at that event, excuse me, and where they honored their recipients, and this is not, they don't consider themselves honorees, but I use that word where people, soldiers from, airmen, Marines that were in Vietnam that were sprayed with Agent Orange, and those that have paid the ultimate price, those that are still suffering from the consequences of that. It was packed. It was at the American Legion in Tombstone, but it was packed. And I got to say, this community comes together, just like I was talking about the veterans. And I had the honor of being a guest speaker and talking about it. And I talked about hope, talked about we got to believe in this country, and all the way through. And I called them heroes. I said, I know you want the ones who are getting the recipients of this. I said they won't accept that title, but I'm going to give it to them today. And that's my recognition of them. But the thank yous are just amazing for these people that went over there and fought in Vietnam and then are still suffering the consequences, 60 years later. That's incredible. It's very sad. So.
The Law Enforcement Quarterly Luncheon was this week. What is that, and what were the takeaways?
The Quarterly Luncheon is when law enforcement, state, local, and federal, to include Fort Huachuca, we all come together, and Jackie Clays was there, the school superintendent, and Cynthia, and our outreach, Sergeant Zeus Davison, and they spoke about school safety. To everybody, what's the updates on school safety and the programs, and then we all share hot topics. What's going on in Fort Huachuca? What's going on downtown? What's the new programs? You name it. Everything's on the table. Truly, everything's on the table, and it's our opportunity to come together and just kind of share each other and social network. Because the worst thing you want to do is, because we have a lot of change. Border Patrol has some changes in their leadership here at Naco and Douglas. So having the opportunity to spend some time with them and just meet them, and then the worst thing I want to do is, if you have a critical event in the county and you got leadership showing up from a different organization, we haven't met them. That's not the time to be meeting and greeting. That's time to go to work. So that's what this is all about. It was a great event. We do them quarterly. Something I've done since 13 years I've been doing this. Chief Heiser actually hosted it here in Sierra Vista. And then, again, just a great event.
And another networking opportunity was National Night Out in Sierra Vista on Tuesday.
Well attended. And And it always is. I mean, the national nights around the community are just so well attended and supported. It goes back to our special community, and once again, everybody was there, state, local, and federal, out there, all embracing community, all giving out trinkets, talking to kiddos, and I mean, just recruiting too. We had a lot of recruitment opportunities. People came and talked to us about working at the sheriff's department, and just. One cool thing I got to give a shout out. You don't hear me say it, but DPS brought their robotic dog down. You ever hear such a thing? Did you guys see this? I mean, a robotic dog. It runs like a dog. It does. It's like the coolest thing. You know, I got shout out to the troopers. We use real dogs, but again, they brought a robotic dog, and I thought that was pretty neat. I mean, it's like a big man toy. You know, think about that. You know, to have this kids have robotic things. No, DPS has a toy. Good, but that was a big hit. It really was. Everybody was talking about that robotic dog. But that's what's cool about it. You can come, bring out your, show off your swag and all that. But it was a neat event. And thanks to Service to PD for putting that together, and Corporal Borkstad, I think, is the steerer of that. But again, it brought the community together for a good reason.
And get ready, because Douglas is coming up with their National Night Out on the 24th.
And we'll be down there for that one. That's on the 24th in Douglas. And I have a football game that night with Buena and CDO here, so I'm going to have a little bit of a conflict. I always have conflict, so it's nothing new. But either way, it's those national night outs. It's a great opportunity to come meet your law enforcement, ask the questions, and just go out there and have a good time.
And coming up, we've got the Cochise County Sheriff's Charity Ride. It's coming up on November 1st. It'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, here in about 3 weeks. We're going to be celebrating our annual charity ride. What is this, 14? 13? 13. And that's an event where we raise money and give to charities, and throughout the community, throughout the year, and then we give our big donations like Shop at the Cop, both the Douglas one, also the Benson one. I know Service does there here, so we want to make sure we're touching all the kiddos that those kids in need, that we can take care of them, but also the different events. I think Service to Kiwanis is a recipient of that. We try to find a veterans group, all the different things we do. It's amazing. This money is recycled through the community into law enforcement, the charity ride, and then back. And we have over 500 riders. We pull into the Nissan dealership on Friday Boulevard, thanks to our partnership with Ed Morse, former Sean and Kate Lawley, and the American Southwest Credit Union. Desert RV is one of our big sponsors, and then all our sponsors to make it happen. So Sheriff's Department holds no money on this. I mean, what I mean by that is we take no percentage of the money for admin fees. What we collect, 100% goes back into a charity. It's just a fun way to give back to the community.
One of the biggest draws this year is the Can-Am.
Yes.
People are buying tickets like crazy, which is amazing, because that's only going to go back into the project.
Yeah, at the county fair they had it down there, and people were like talking about that. That was the biggest thing, you know. And thanks to Lonnie Greer and all the sponsors, a lot of them I just said right there, where they actually got the Can-Am for us. It's like a $40,000 Can-Am, and so we've already raised the funds just off that Can-Am to help support what we're doing here. And I know for, I think it's next year's event, Cliff over at Cochise Motorsports is donating one, or working with us on getting one that we can take it and then get it all marked out with our sheriff logo and all the sponsors on it, and then we'll do the same thing for next year. So it's just exciting to be able to do that and give it back. But that's a hot topic. That's a hot one right there. Everybody wants that vehicle. I got to buy my tickets, and when I was down at the county fair, one of the deputies down there, he's like a car salesman. I mean, the way he was selling, I said, you should be at a car sales lot. I mean, the way you're selling things out here. But he did amazing selling tickets too. So, but I got to buy mine.
That was Felix, right?
Yeah, Felix.
Oh, man, he is like crazy for that stuff.
Oh, he was. I didn't. He came over from the military.
Yeah.
And just kind of a quiet, reserved deputy. Then I see him at the fair, and he's out there just swinging the verbal.
It's like an auctioneer.
Yes. Over here. I got tickets there for you. If people are lining up to get his tickets, we'll be buying. It doesn't matter. Here's your tickets. You know?
He did it also at our next thing we'll talk about.
Oh, and if you want to get your tickets for the charity ride, you can go online to get those at cochise.az.gov/sheriff. That's cochise.az.gov/sheriff.
And they can actually show up the day of and still ride.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, show up that day of and ride. I'll be riding my Harley that day, and with Nikki on the back. It's a ride. It's a ride.
She appreciates that.
She does.
And there was a carne asada sale in Douglas. Sergeant Davison put that on, and again, selling tickets over there. But the purpose for that is to get money in to raise funds for schools in the Douglas area. and Sergeant Davison is able to get scholarships to those schools or give awards or grants to those schools so that they can purchase things that they need.
It is just a little extra money coming in. It's an outreach where, again, it's a public relations outreach from our Sergeant Davison. That's what unit he works in for the sheriff's office. But just brings the community and law enforcement together, and Art Estrada and so many put that together and came together. And then the money raised, 100% goes back into a cause, and that cause this year is going to be the schools in the Douglas region. So thank you, Sergeant Davison, for that.
And we wanted to give a shout out to Subway today.
Yeah, Subway coming through, and I eat a lot of Subway. You guys get tired. Hey, want to go to lunch? Subway? No, I won't go with you, Sheriff. Never mind then. I'll go Subway myself. But Subway's got my sandwich over there. But long story short is Subway donated sandwiches for the deputies here a couple weeks ago. And Marcus Giroux, there's a picture on our Facebook of, you don't know Marcus Giroux, he could eat the whole box to himself. And the guy's huge.
But he did share.
Did he share?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a big dude. If he came at me, you better run. But yeah, thank you to Subway for your support of law enforcement.
And tomorrow's going to be Cars in the Park, and they're saying rain or shine.
Rain, shine, or float. We'll see what happens. We need to talk about the weather on that. So, yeah, I'll be judging that show in the morning and one of the judges of many. But, again, that's I think they're 36, my tongue ain't working, 36 annual Cars in the Park. So, again, it's a good show. But car enthusiasts just like myself, people don't like to come out when it's raining. I'm just telling you. I mean, it takes forever to get, especially the undercarriage of a nice car. Yeah, I took my car a couple years ago, and the wind was blowing so bad. Remember the park? The grass was all dried out because the sprinkler system broke, and boy, I still to this day are pulling stuff out of that car. It's amazing because it blew all the dust and dirt in there, and so. But I know they're very picky. But there will be people with cars out there. Even with the rain coming, so I don't know what the percentage is now. What is it? 70%, 60%, 10 inches, half inch? What are we talking now? Anybody?
I've seen 6 inches. I've seen. You said you saw 10.
Yeah, I did. I just saw it last night. 10.
Yeah,
10 inches in
I don't
Sierra
know about
Vista.
all that.
We should do a raffle. We should do something like that.
Yeah,
some
really.
kind of board here. Get $1 for how many inches we're going to
Whoever gets the closest.
Yeah, whoever gets the closest. So we can do it here between the three of us. And Carrie, are we going to be? Maybe you can win this one and for next Friday.
I'll win this one just like they're going to win BYU. Go ahead.
So all I can say is, Mother Nature's been very finicky lately. It poured on me last night. I was doing soccer practice about 6:30, and it just poured on us out of nowhere. It's like, what's a moisture coming from? But
That was the appetizer.
yeah, it was.
The main events today.
Here it comes.
Yes.
But let's start. Let's start with Grady. He's the 30-year guy on the microphone. We'll give you how many inches?
I always say they overestimate. So I'm going to say like 2 or 3. I'm going way low.
I'll say, you're going to go 2 or 3?
Yeah, 2 or 3.
You gotta pick
I
one.
have to pick one. 3.
3? Carol?
I pick 4.5.
She's so optimistic, isn't she?
Yeah.
So optimistic. And I'm going to be the realistic meteorologist because 1.5.
See, that's what I'm thinking too. So
You already picked your number.
I did. I picked 3. I'll stick with it. But I bet you win.
I do too. All I asked for is a Polar Pop from each one. That's 2 days
Okay.
worth of Polar Pop.
You
That's
got
all
it.
I asked. And I won't take the money on the U of A because I already feel bad. So I'll just take the Polar Pop. So 1.5,
I'm going to win twice. Look at this.
4.5,
Yes.
And 3.
and 3. So we'll see what happens, and that starts effective now till Sunday night.
Okay, sounds good.
That
Right,
works.
let's see what it
You don't
is.
want to count last night?
No, that was the appetizer. That was the
Appetizer,
That
okay.
was the taster for the meal.
Hey,
Okay.
and Butterfield Stage Days actually got postponed because of the projected weather event. So it's been postponed for 2 weeks.
Yes. In fact, the city manager was at our meeting, police chief. He wears both titles. And he brought that up yesterday. So that brings it all the way out to, the 18th? 25th? Or
The 25th.
25th is
Yeah.
it now? So, yeah. So that's when theirs is going to be.
And there was a Fallen Heroes Memorial Ride. Tell us about that.
There was, and that's for Jeff Brown. Jeff come to his injuries after Miracle Valley back in the early 80s. Family, very, very well-known family here in Sierra. In fact, Deb Ettinger is his sister, just a sweetheart of a lady. And very sad. Very sad. But the Fallen Heroes, it's a motorcycle group. They travel the state. They have done this for the last couple of years. They call me, hey, Sheriff, you mind we swing in and recognize your deputy, your fallen deputy. Now, we've had 16 total But Jeff is our most recent, and he's got a little memorial rock there in front of the Service to substation. So we did there. It takes about 10 minutes. They do a prayer, they recognize them, and then they're on their way to the next event. So we want to thank them for what they do, because we should never forget. And God bless you, Jeff.
And there's been a thing lately, and it's even starting Saturday, between Saturday and Tuesday, there are 2 motorcycle fatalities. And so I think that maybe we need to address that, have you address that. And people, how they drive, people are impatient, people are driving like fools. Make sure that you just are aware of motorcycles out there.
Very much so. I mean, we've had 2. We had one on Saturday when I was heading over to the American Legion for that Silver Rose event. That call came in. My deputies, the Tombstone Marshal's office, were one of the first on scenes, and just a horrific crash. I'll just say that. But the driver took off. He had no shoes on, and ran through the desert. And we got a helicopter up. I think Border Patrol and then DPS Ranger was up there. So we had 3 helicopters. This guy ended up killing somebody, obviously, and then ran from the scene. I mean, that's just a sad moment right there. And we got him like 4 hours later in the desert. So I'm glad he's in custody. He'll address and be held accountable for his actions. And then with the Service to PD had one this week, Savin over by the Service to Mall, and again, and I was told he was a retired law enforcement officer from another state. So again, it's sad when you have that, because it's a ripple, but we got to be careful. We got to be real careful when it comes to motorcycles. Motorcycle riders got to be careful. Don't read that as a one-way statement. That's a two-way statement. But we got to watch for them too. But we all need to slow down. We're seeing people, and you see it on social media all the time. We see it in our own personal drivings where we see people do things, just careless, reckless driving. And it's almost entitlement driving, I call it. Slow down. There's, gore lines, stop signs, red lights. They're all there for a reason. They really are. They're not discretionary. There are mandates, and I like to say that they're mandates. You stop people. Oh yeah, well, I thought I could make it. No, that's intentional. That's intentional. That's intentional driving, and there's a difference between intent and accidents. So be careful out there.
And I saw something online that I thought was very interesting for motorcycles. You know how everybody plays the slug bug game when you see a Volkswagen?
Yeah.
I wish I would have done this growing up when I saw it online, is you spot motorcycles and count them, and whoever gets the most wins, because it teaches everybody to start looking out for motorcycles. I thought that was very cool.
That is very cool. Yeah. The slug bug thing was cool.
Yeah,
I got slugged
that's
a lot.
still cool. Yeah,
I got slugged a lot because I don't have that attention span to look for a vehicle. But that's a good idea with the motorcycles. It really is. Maybe you're going to start something here.
That would be cool, yeah.
Yeah. That's Grady Butler's.
Well, I found it online, so it's not mine. But still, it would be neat.
Yeah, but you can't do slug bug. You got to think of something. You got to get a little.
I'll come up with something by next
catchy.
week.
Something catchy is going to do
We'll
that.
start the new game here in Cochise County.
That's right.
We'll do it.
Yeah, we got that too.
Okay.
So
yeah, if you have any ideas, listeners, hit us up on our Facebook page or message us, because that'd be kind of a fun game to play.
It really would.
It would teach people to look for motorcycles. That'd be a great thing to do.
Yep.
Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, before you go, invite everybody out to Cochise County football.
Well, come on out tonight. First of all, you can come on out in the game. It should be a dry night. It's not supposed to rain tonight. I looked at the weather. It's supposed to be dry, which hopefully it is. Otherwise, you can tune in at KWCD here on this radio station at 6:30 for pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff when your Buena Colts are hosting the Vista Grande High School out of Casa Grande.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Giving you an inside look to your sheriff's office. Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and thank you so much. Cochise County Emergency Services Director, Dan Deshawn.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me.
I had to stumble over that a little bit because I think you wear so many hats. We just have to identify the top one. That works?
Excellent. Yes, I'll take it.
All right. So tell everybody what you do. What does your office do?
Yes, so I'm with Cochise County Emergency Management, and I like to give an example. So, during our summer months, we're always worried about our wildfires, and we all see our Forest Service partners out there heading out and fighting the fires and dropping retardant. Our office works on the back end, so we're the ones that are sending alerts to cell phones and landlines telling you that you should prepare to evacuate or evacuate. And then if you do have to evacuate, we're the ones coordinating with the Red Cross to, for example, set up a shelter at the local high school, then get the food and water there. Then we may work with some of our volunteers like the SAT team to make sure roads are closed. Then we'll work with our local area PIOs so we get consistent messaging out and the whole community knows what's going on. So it's a lot of back-end work, just logistics, and we're not on the front lines fighting the fire, but we're helping everybody on the back end.
And we have a major weather system that is moving through our area, and that's why we invited you on the show today to kind of talk about all those things you just said and put it into this narrative.
Yes. So our weather service partners out of Tucson, they're forecasting some long-duration heavy rainfall. It's associated with Tropical Storm Priscilla there off the Baja. This is actually the third tropical storm or remnants that's coming up into Arizona in the last probably month or so. So it's a significant event. It's going to lead to widespread showers and isolated thunderstorms, but these are different from our normal monsoon where it's not a localized storm. It could be over the region or the county along in steady rain, already in a saturated area. So it leads to a different type of flooding. We can still have our flash flooding, of course, but it's different and it's more widespread. And it could last longer. So here we're looking at definitely 3 days of rain, Saturday to Monday. Most likely is that 1.8, maybe 2 inches, but the high end could be 2.5 inches. And there's some models like a 1 in 10 chance that we get over 3.5 inches.
4.5.
Yeah, so it's a significant event, and we love our weather service partners, but they have to give us the probabilities, and they can't make any promises. But when we hear those big numbers, we want to reach out to the community and say, hey, this could happen.
I know you were saying 4.5 there is what you were saying, right?
3.5.
No, really, you were saying 4.5. I'll
She
tell
wants
you
more
why.
rain, yeah.
Okay.
I want more rain. So because of all of that and the projections, people really need to sign up for alerts.
Yes, so this is a life safety event. We always say turn around, don't drown, and we really mean it. It's not a cliche phrase. Unfortunately in Benson last month someone did die from flooding, and a couple weeks ago up in Globe there were a couple fatalities. So it has happened in the county and across the state, and just want to emphasize that turn around, don't drown. Most flooding deaths occur in vehicles. So if you do encounter flooding, to seek higher ground immediately and call 911. Don't call family or friends, call 911. It's a life-threatening situation. So alerts, Carol, you asked? Yes, our office sends a couple types of alerts. We can do the scrolling banner alerts on TV, and we can send the alerts that break in through the radio, which, Grady, you're familiar with.
Very much.
Most importantly, we do the wireless emergency alerts, which are your cell phone alerts, where we can send that alert to your cell phone. It goes off. And those are geo-targeted, we say, where we can draw a box on the map and hit all the phones in that area. It depends on the age of the phone, but the newer phones, it's pretty tight and accurate. So if you have an older phone, you may get some bleed over. But I would also encourage folks to sign up for alerts in advance. And we'll get that website out and on our social media. So if you sign up for alerts in advance, you can tie your cell phone to your home address. So if you're in town at work or shopping and there's an emergency at your home, you necessarily won't get that alert because your phone isn't physically in the area. But if you sign up and tie them together, you can get that alert for an emergency at your home, even if you're in town or in Tucson or out of state.
And you can tie that in with like your parents and grandparents as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you have family members that need help evacuating or would need a little bit more help in emergency, you can attach your cell phone number to their address, so you'll get the alert for an emergency at their house.
So how do you sign up for alerts?
It's real easy. The website is cochise.myfreealerts.com. And it's just a one-pager. You enter your cell phone number, your address, make a couple options. It's not very difficult, so don't worry about signing up for some cumbersome service there, and it's free.
Everybody's signed up now. Let's just be positive. So
Yes.
you've signed up for the alerts. Now let's talk about Ready, Set, Go. So if there's something that happens this weekend, what's going to happen with those alerts, and what do we need to be prepared for?
Yes, so we use a standardized Ready, Set, Go program. It's across the state where for evacuations, we'll say ready. So really we should always be ready. It means prepare now. And what you should do is you should register for alerts like we just talked about. You should follow the Sheriff's Office Facebook page or maybe your local city Facebook page so you know where to get good, accurate information. Because there's a lot of Facebook pages out there that you take a lot of liberties and maybe spread some information that isn't accurate. And just understand your seasonal threats. You know, in the summer, you clear brush around your house, that type of thing. In the monsoons, you know, maybe have some sandbags. And there's lots of sites around the county. Public Works offers those. We can get those on the Facebook. You know, winter, simple things as having a set of gloves and a hat and a snow scraper in your car. But we go from ready to set, and that's just be alert there's a hazard in your area that could cause you to evacuate. So follow the news. If you're able to leave, actually leave. And if you do have some type of emergency kit, maybe you could put that in your car, or maybe it's not the best evening to go out to dinner and leave the house, or the kids with a babysitter. So just be extra cautious and be ready to know something could happen. And then lastly, it's time to evacuate. You know, we're working with our firefighters and saying, hey, this fire's coming, we got to leave. So they'll issue that evacuation order, and you'll get that text that says, go, evacuate now this specific area.
And when it says go, that really is go.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we try to tier it with the set so we can give folks as much notice as possible. So if there's time, we can put, for example, a neighborhood adjacent to the fire on set and say, hey, you know, we don't know which way this thing's going to go, but we want everybody to be aware of what's going on.
And Carol, we've had situations in fires where people did not go, and then deputies had to go in.
Absolutely. So that's one of the hazards. If you're in any of these predicaments, you need to make sure that you follow instructions. So, you know, specifically during the Monument Fire, people didn't think it was going to jump a 4-lane highway and affect them, and it did. They were in the set status, and when it was time to go, they almost did not get out, and we put our personnel in danger. We had deputies and supervisors that drove their cars into fire areas, and not exaggerating, the tires on the vehicles for public safety, specifically on the sheriff's office deputies' vehicles, were smoking. They almost melted, and that's because of our dedication to make sure that we were there to save lives. But sometimes you have to make a distinction on whose life you're going to save. So if someone is not following up on what they need to do, if they need extra help, call us in advance. If you have animals that need to be moved, if you are disabled and you can't do it on your own, you need to call us if you get this notification to be in the set status, so we can make pre-planning happen and maybe get you out of there before there is an evacuation. So please just follow the instructions and ensure that you don't put anyone else's life in danger. You can say, you know what, I'm not leaving no matter what, I'm never going to leave my house. Well, there you go, that's your choice. But make sure that it's an informed decision, that you know that somebody probably is not going to come get you if the circumstances are to that level.
Well, Dan Duchamp, we thank you for coming and talking to us today. And we thank you for the behind-the-scenes work that you do on emergency management, protecting and saving lives. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Giving you an inside look to your sheriff's office. Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kapist, and our next guest is Kathy Trawick. Good morning.
Good morning.
And remind everybody what office you're with.
Well, I am the treasurer of Cochise County, very proudly and happily so.
And so you handle all the money for the county.
I do. I usually do the little clicky nail thing where I say, I get all the money.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
And also that includes taxes. So let's talk about taxes that are coming up for everybody.
Absolutely. I just want to give everyone a reminder that they should have already received their tax bill for this year, or a postcard indicating if they were a person that pays through their mortgage. But if they haven't received their tax bill, they are able to go online, pay them online if they want, or they can just look at their tax amount, write a check, put the invoice, the parcel number on it, and send it to us. The first half becomes delinquent November 1st. However, if they choose to pay the full year by December 31st, there's no interest on the first half.
Excellent. That's good to know. And what website can they go to find out more information?
Cochise County, Cochise at az.gov.
All right. Sounds like a plan. But you're also going to put on another hat today and talk about Hell Dorado Days in Tombstone.
I am. I'm absolutely ecstatic to invite everyone to come to Tombstone for the 96th anniversary of Hell Dorado. Eldorado Days. I am the president of Eldorado, and I just am totally enamored of the event. It is such a great occasion for Tombstone, and it brings people in from all over the world. We have events all day next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We've got saloon girls and cowboys and gunfighters and dudes, and we have bouncy castles, one of which is the sheriff's, and we have that in the park. We've got food courts. We've got a parade on Sunday from 11 o'clock in the morning, and it's usually the high point of the entire weekend.
I am a judge at that of the parade every year. This will be my third year, and I love it.
That shocks me. You're not a judgy type guy, Brady. I'm truly shocked that you're a judge. No, I mean, it is such a great time. And the one thing that we actually seem to be a little underattended on is we do have a reunion party at the Rose Tree Inn on Friday evening as the event's starting to really get underway. It's at 5:30, and we provide beverages and snacks, and everyone's invited, and we want you to come by and meet our Grand Marshal for the weekend. And this year it's Kathy Panessa. She and her husband actually owned the Wizard's Workshop, the jewelry store, but Kathy has also donated to every event that has ever come through Tombstone. She's also served on the city council, the school board. She is just 100% about Tombstone, so it's really delightful that we get to honor her in that way. And I would love to have more people come and join us to see it happen.
All right. Well, so before you go, invite everybody out to Eldorado Days next weekend one more time.
Absolutely. Please, please, please come on down. You're going to have more fun than you know what to do with. And if you don't have a good time, then come and tell me why, because I'm absolutely mystified. But it is the 17th, 18th, 19th from 10 in the morning till around 4 in the evening. And we'll just have a blast, and we hope you can join us.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in and talking to us today.
Thank you so much.
Also in the studio, we've got Steve Boyce from Horse and Around Rescue, and you've got an open house you want to tell us about.
We have an open house this Saturday, the 18th. It comes from 10 to 1. It is featuring, basically this year we're trying to go horses, because we have 50 horses right now. And we're trying to find homes for them, want people to see them. We got people that are going to do demonstrations with working the horses, riding the horses. There's places where you can pet the horses. We have many horses that little kids can pet and brush, and it's just a great family type orientation type time. And we need to find homes for these horses. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Because it's hard to take care of all the horses that people want to give us if we don't have room for them.
Right.
And it's hard to say no.
And you guys are a 501c3, a nonprofit, and so how can the community help you outside of adopting horses?
We have a website that's horsearoundrescue.org, HORSEN, aroundrescue.org. We would love to have any support. We're all run by volunteers. We've been doing this since, actually, this is our 16th year. We've taken in, let me get the numbers, we've taken in 218 equines, and we've adopted out 127 of them in the 16 years. And it is really just really blown away. And the other thing is we're going to be selling raffle tickets for our raffle. We have a raffle we do from the fall till the spring. And we've got a great rifle in there. And we've got a great pistol in there. We've got a gift card from Tractor Supply. And we have a quarter of beef and a saddle that is incredible. It'd be a saddle you could put in your living room and have it as a piece of art in your house, that kind of stuff. And we'd love to have you come out.
So how can you get in on the raffle?
The raffle, you can get it online, or you can turn around and come to our event on the 18th. And we'll be at other different places. We'll be at the Empire Ranch Foundation for their Cowboy Festival. We'll be at the Tucson Rodeo Parade and Tucson Rodeo. And so there's lots of different places. We go to a lot of events because we're part of this community. We support this community. We love this community. And we want to support you guys and come show you things that you may not know about. And I laugh sometimes, Grady, about some stuff when you drove wagons, and I thought it was so much fun.
You've had me do some fun stuff, that's for sure. That is for sure.
Thank you so much, Grady, and everybody else that puts us on. Carol, same thing with you. The support we get from the community is just awesome.
And we appreciate what you do for the horses in this area. And again, give us the website before you go.
Horse and Round Rescue, HORSEN, aroundrescue.org, and come to our open house. It's a lot of fun.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
Brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and our next guest.
Hey, Cochise County, welcome back. And thank you so much for being here, Corporal Scott Borgstad.
Hey, thank you.
So
Appreciate
Sierra
it.
Vista PD keeps you busy.
Yeah, especially this week. It's been a very busy week. We had National Night Out on Tuesday. Another huge success. And I want to thank all the first responders that came out, the fire department, all of the service providers that came out and helped out. Special shout out to Ricky Murray from Target. He and his crew are just amazing, helping out and volunteering and getting things set up and then helping run things as we go along. Another shout out to my wife, Denise. For years now, she's been coming out for National Night Out and taking the money for all of the food sales and whatnot, which all the proceeds go to Christmas with a Cop and, of course, Cochise County Shop with a Cop. We did a little over $1,200 this year in food sales, so that's going to make some very nice Christmases for some kids. So this is my last one, due to retire towards the end of the year, but we're turning it over to a very capable corporal, Corporal Janae Siege. She's pretty sharp. So, like I said, this will be my last one, and I'm very happy with it because it was the participation from people coming out was huge. I don't have the numbers yet, but I think it was even bigger than last year.
And so when you say this is your last one, you obviously did not get the memo. We canceled your retirement. Sorry. And you were recognized for the Better Bucks, Better Work program in the Cochise County Heroes booklet. So congratulations on that.
Thank you for that. That was kind of special. We did a lot of work. Our board of directors did a lot of work to make that program successful, and it's still going and going strong. We've paid out almost $50,000 to the merchants for the Better Bucks part of the program. We've taken out almost a little over 70,000 pounds of garbage out of the desert, and still going strong.
Well, let's talk about today's event, Faith in Blue.
Yeah, Faith in Blue. This is an annual event. We've been doing this for a number of years now. That will be at Lori's Place, which is located at 214 East Tacoma Street here in Sierra Vista. Lori's Place is an amazing organization. They are a nonprofit organization, but they provide a service to law enforcement and the community that they're the only ones in Cochise County that do this. And, they specialize in folks that have, overcome or dealing with domestic violence issues. They also are able to do sexual assault examinations, forensic interviews with children for various things. They are so important to our community, and we need to keep them going. So come out to Lori's Place today. The event starts at 11 and goes till 2. There will be food. I'm told there will be food. Plus, we're going to have some guest speakers, a couple of folks that overcame their issues, domestic violence survivors, and they're going to tell their story and how important Lori's Place was to them. So please come on out to Lori's Place today, 11 a.m. till 2 p.m., 214 East Tacoma Street.
Well, we thank you for coming and talking to us today, Corporal Scott Borgstad.
Thank you.
And Carol, how do they get a hold of us at the Sheriff's Office?
So you can reach out if you have questions. You can give us a call, 520-432-9500. You can check out our webpage at cochise.az.gov/sheriff. Has all kinds of information there. And then you can see us on social media at Cochise County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Mark J. Daniels. That'll be our Facebook page and has links to our X and our Twitter account.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch, brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. Keep up to date. Follow the Cochise County Sheriff's Office on Facebook and tune in next Friday, 7 a.m. for First Watch right here on KWCD.